am the place where God shows up.
Good morning. I'm Maggie Bishop, your platform assistant for today. Our daily word is world peace, inspired by the Epistle of James, and a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace for those who make peace. The word shalom is synonymous with the word peace, but it means more than that. More than an absence of war and conflict. Shalom, appearing so frequently in the Bible, it is also used to affirm wholeness and well-being. True, lasting well-being requires the kind of peace known by living in alignment with God. Anchored in peace, people are less likely to be in conflict and more likely to appreciate the beautiful planet Earth offers, goodness and abundance for all. When we pray for a peaceful world, we pray shalom for ourselves and for each person of every land to have their needs met, to know lasting well-being for themselves and their families, to live in harmony and work toward our common good. The word shalom is synonymous with the word peace. Let us affirm together. I bless the world with thoughts of peace. This is Hispanic Heritage Month, a time we celebrate Hispanics who have made a positive difference for all Americans. Cesar Chavez, a first-generation Mexican-American, was a true American hero, a civil rights activist. He was champion of nonviolent social change and a crusader for the environment and human rights. Under his leadership, farm workers won union contracts which gave them pay raises, medical coverage, and rest periods. They also included a ban on spraying pesticides while workers were in the fields. His work inspired increasing college enrollment among Chicano youth. His motto, Si se puede, yes, it can be done, is a rallying cry for social change still used today. Thank you, Cesar Chavez. Now I get to welcome Linda Abar.
Hey. This song, I call it Rumi. It's a poem by Rumi. You'll recognize it. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world's too full to talk about. Ideas and language and calling you other makes no sense. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Out beyond the ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Ideas and language, even the phrase each other makes no sense. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. There is a field beyond right and wrong. I'll meet you there. I'll meet you there. Thank you. Unity Band.
Lovely, lovely. So it is International Day of Peace, and the theme this year is Act Now for a Peaceful World. And what we know is that peace isn't something you just put on. Peace is the result of people no longer living in poverty, no longer feeling inequality in their life, and no longer in conflict. It's a result of actions that are taken care of to take care of the deficit, to wipe deficits out and bring us all into that state of harmony. So last week we talked a lot about prayer, and I thought this fall we would talk about some of the most favorite prayer requests, most frequent prayer requests. And peace is certainly one of those things that a lot of us have a prayer request for. What that peace means at any one time can be different, but it's a very common prayer request, to pray for my peace, to pray for my peace. So what does it look like? How fast can it happen? Grant me patience now. And is it possible? Probably prayers for peace are maybe the oldest prayer. The world has been praying for peace since time began, because we've been in conflict, it seems like time began. So today I thought we'd take a look at that broader vision of peace, so that when we're praying for peace, we come to understand really what the process is that we're starting. Because prayer very often, remember, it's to help us to think more in alignment with truth. It's not to change the mind of some allness out there or to get their attention. It's about aligning us to that interconnected consciousness. So speaking of conflict that's been going on for a long time, we're only going to go back as far as Abraham. He was the father of three major world religions, so kind of a good place to start. And at that time, they were wanderers, they were herders. They had cattle, and they would wander from place to place so their cattle could feed. And he was with his nephew Lot. And as they became more prosperous, what happened was their underlings that had the different herds were fighting over who got to eat here and who got to eat there. They were kind of battling over shortage of eating places. And Abraham, wise man, realized that this couldn't go on. They had to do something about it. So he said, it's time for us to divide, to split up our herd. So they went to the top of a mountain, looked down, and he says, Lot, pick which direction you want to go, where do you want to live? And Lot picked this luscious green valley and area over there, and Abraham took the other. So we can learn from this story. We don't have herds out there, but we have conflicts. Abraham represents for us metaphysically our faith, the early part of our faith. As we're beginning to understand there's something bigger than us, that the world is more than just what appears to us. Lot, on the other hand, in Hebrew means hidden or concealed, and that's kind of the dark side of our faith. We always have faith. It's just where we're putting it. And Lot kind of had a lot of faith in the external, a lot of faith in the physical manifestations of things, that's what was going to prosper him, bring him well-being. So we get into that space of unpeace when it appears that there are limited resources. And we've all had those times in our life when it seems like somebody else got our good, that the us and them type mentality kicks in, that somehow things are being taken from us that we need. So when Abraham gave Lot the first choice of the land, all of a sudden we see that peace begins. We really can step back and remember that our power is internal, our supply is internal. It's part of that divine ethers, the consciousness of the universe, of the cosmos, and that we trust. We don't have to know the how, but there's a trust that God will provide. And many times it's not in ways that we would suggest or think it would happen. You know, we may have an idea of how this is going to happen. I'm going to win the lottery. It takes care of all my financial problems. Maybe it's going to happen another way. So it's a really big first step within our faith, that where we see lack, that we really go to that higher power, that higher realm of experience, those ideas before they become manifest in our life. There's a story of these two gentlemen that were on a train sitting across from each other. And the one man was quite agitated. He's sitting there, and you know when somebody's like that. They're angry, they're seething. And the man across from him was quite peaceful sitting there, and he leaned across and he said, I used to get upset like that too, only I realized peace is the only baggage worth carrying. And we think about it, yeah, isn't peace really the only baggage that's worth for us carrying? That peace, it's not about changing our journey, changing where we're going, but it's about changing how we're traveling. That state of non-resistance, that beautiful state of non-resistance to what's going on is just a really great step towards peace. So as we move on in the Old Testament, the Old Testament really being the story of our growth of faith, Abraham had a son, Isaac. And Abraham, father of multitudes, the beginning of all of our thoughts, the multitudes being our thoughts, his son Isaac means joy. Literally in Hebrew it meant, and God laughed. Isn't that just, and boy, you look at, if anybody watches Call the Midwives, I smile through the show because of all these little babies. You cannot look at a baby and not just find everybody smiling back at babies. Isn't that a wonderful human trait that we have? Well, Isaac was traveling with his herds, and his father, Abraham, had dug tons of wells, which are very important in the land at that time. There's a lot of dry spots. You had to have wells to feed your cattle, and you're going through the desert to get water to live on. And this king Amalek, he had gone and filled up the wells with dirt. But as Abraham now comes to this land that his father had been at, he started having his people digging out the dirt and reclaiming the well. And Amalek's men would come by and go, that's not your well, get away from there, that's ours, and claim it. And Isaac, he would just back off, and he would go and find another well. And this repeated itself time after time after time, till finally Isaac dug his own well. And this was his. And so there was all these conflicts going on between Isaac and the king. And Amalek realized that all this perseverance, that Isaac kept staying in that state of joy, in a sense, that state of non-conflict. And he goes, we should really get together and have dinner and just kind of make peace with each other. There's ways that we can coexist together. So sometimes that idea of finding peace is really allowing ourselves to, you keep making that mistake time and time again. You keep expecting this conflict. You keep trying to gather, this is mine, you can't have it. This is mine, you can't have it. Oh no, this one is mine too, you can't have it. And you finally get it. This is going no place. And you sit down and have that new covenant and make peace. So peace requires persistence. It doesn't just boom happen. It's not, falling from the sky, there it is, peace at my feet. What do I do with it? It requires being humble. As Linda was singing, it's about that field out beyond right and wrong. It's about being in that place where those words don't even make sense. You just get it that you're in it together. And that there's always that ability to reconcile, even after there's been a lot of arguments and conflict. And you don't need to carry your past with you. That's not part of the peace baggage. And this is, the holidays are soon to be upon us. And it's a really good thing to remember because all families have had conflicts at some time. And it's past. You can let that go. Let that go. Claim the peace. There's this wonderful story about these two neighbors. Pretty good. They're farmers. They're doing pretty good. And but one day there was a stray cow wandering around, and they each claimed it. And things got heated. It started out as just a stray cow, and the next thing you know, they're arguing over whose cow it is. And they started getting angrier and angrier with each other. And I find this one of the farmers who was just seething, and one day a carpenter comes to his house, knocks on the door and says, "You need anything built?" And he goes, "Yes, I do. I want a wall high enough that I never have to see my neighbor's face again." Okay. The carpenter went out there and he started working on it. And when the farmer came out, he saw he'd built a bridge. When the other farmer came out, he walked across the bridge and he goes, "I can't believe this. After all the awful things I said to you, you went and built a bridge." And all of a sudden the conflict, that quickly it becomes building that bridge instead of that wall where we can't see each other. Isn't that the truth? Wherever there's conflict, so many times it's because we're not seeing each other, let alone hearing each other. We could only hear each other. But seeing each other is a really good place to start. Seeing each other without judgment. Seeing each other as one of us, as opposed to them, as opposed to the other side, as opposed to the conflict. Peace is the bridge we didn't ask for but desperately need. Can you think in times of your life where you've just been so hung up on the other person being wrong and you being right, and they're just too stupid to hear it? That there's nothing that's going to break it down again to open up that road? And then something happens, and all of a sudden your priorities get straight. And poof, the other stuff is just gone because it didn't hold any weight, it didn't hold any merit. It was all made up human drama. Just because we got bored one day, right? It needed something to keep our attention. The other thing that causes unpeace is power and poverty, and I really liken power and poverty to be very similar. When you're in poverty, you feel like you have no power. And when you have the power, you feel very rich because you have this authority over wherever your power lies in that. And there's a wonderful story in the Old Testament about Saul and David. And with the Hebrews, for a long time, they were just tribes. But they noticed all their neighbors had kings, so they decided they wanted a king. And they made this man Saul their first king. Saul had an army, as all kings do, and one of his best soldiers was David, who you may know from Goliath fame. David and Goliath, with the slingshot, he got down the giant where nobody else could and the warriors could. So David went out to wars. He was very loyal to Saul. He worked really hard for him, and he became very popular. Heck, tall, strapping, muscular guy, red hair. He led these battles. He was triumphant. And as he went through the town, the people, "We love David. Yay, David." They'd have these parades on the side of the road. He's a great, great guy. Saul was insecure, as a first king might be. He's just starting the new heritage. And he got very jealous of David. David means love. David stands for love, interestingly enough. And Saul is what you asked for or prayed for. It's our ability to be willful from our personality, from our ego. So there's divine will where we're kind of in the flow, but there's our feet in the ground, this is where I stand. It's the 2-year-old willfulness. I don't know if you still feel that from time to time, but there are times that you just watch me at dog training, Dog, do this. Anyway, so we have that ability to get so caught in our personality and be very willful. And that's what Saul represents with us in our own spiritual journeys. Dave, as I said, means love. And it's that individualized love, like the divine love, but then individualized as a human, expressing that in consciousness. David became such a threat to Saul in Saul's mind that he tried to have him killed several times. And now David was best friends with the king's son also, Jonathan. And David kept saying, "I don't want your job. Trust me, I'm happy where I'm at. Just leave me be. I'm fine. I'm total loyal to you." But Saul could not hear that. He was so stuck in the conflict. He's so jealous of the accolades that David got, how much the people loved him, that he just couldn't get by it. So several times in trying to prove that he was loyal to Saul, David snuck into his tent, took a snip of his hair, left his David left his sword at Saul's side to let him know he had been there while he was sleeping and didn't kill him. Did it twice, he still didn't get it, right? Can you see these conflicts? Think about in your own mind. You have this ruling thought in your mind about how the world is. But there's another part of you that is love that wants to express. And you go, well, if I express love like that, I'm going to be vulnerable. Somebody's going to take advantage of me, take me out, they're going to take me good. That, it's this fear of not having power, this poverty fear of not having. And we go through this ourselves, and love will say, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually make you stronger. We're better together. Will and love is just a wonderful combination. But your intellect is going, wait a minute, I'm not going to be tricked. I'm in charge here. Nothing else is going to happen unless I say it's going to happen. And love is just too easygoing. I mean, who wants to get along with everybody, right? If you think about it, Saul and David is kind of like the battle between our head and our heart. And our head is so clever, and our intellect is so clever, so intricate in the reasons that it comes up with. It can make reasons out of whole cloth about why it should be this way, where the heart is just, all it wants to do is expand and to love and to include and to get rid of them and just be all us. It lives in that field out beyond right and wrong. And it reminds me of this story. Remember Sarajevo, the awful war there? And there was this one cellist that used to go out in the rubble and near the end of the days of the war, and he'd sit in the rubble and play his cello day after day. And as he played his cello out there, people heard the music. And where there was fear of bombs coming, fear of soldiers coming in to kill them, all those fears that come along with war, the people heard the music and they started coming out. They started to gather. The city started to remember itself. They are not the war. They are this beautiful, peaceful city of Sarajevo. So peace isn't always the absence of noise or struggle, but it's the harmony that we create in the midst of it. Again, going inside, it's not that we can get caught up with the chaos that's outside. We can get caught up with the this, us and the them. We get caught up in the right and the wrong, the unthinkable and the thinkable. We get caught up in all those dichotomies of the world, the relative world that has all these opposites. Really, just to remember to let us go within, back into that sense of peace at the core of our being. Jesus talked about peace, and one of them I didn't like for a really long time. Do not think I've come to bring peace to the earth. I've not come to bring peace, but a sword. And I thought, oh, this sounds just really, I don't like this. This isn't the Jesus that I know. But as we start understanding the Bible metaphysically, we understand as we're going towards a sense of personal peace, because we need personal peace before the world can have peace, that we need to let go of a few things. And for me, that idea of the sword is to cut off those disruptive attachment thoughts that keep us out of our center. That we can't have it all and have peace. And by the all, I mean not abundance, not love. I mean the allness of holding every thought we've ever had. The angry thoughts, the hateful thoughts, the divisive thoughts. We cannot hold on to them and also have peace, really experience peace. So as we evolve to more and more recognition and expression of the Christ consciousness within us, it's going to require us, we're going to be uncomfortable with those other thoughts. We are going to cut them off. This is the peace that is brought to us. It requires that we let some of those things go that really have no value in our life. And a couple times it's recorded Jesus is saying after he's done a healing, your faith has made you well. The faith has saved you. Go in peace. And that so reminds me that when we need healing, and healing is not just the body. Healing can be finances, healing can be relationships, healing can be our creative endeavors, whatever that is. Healing can be anything that is in a state of dis-ease within our life. That we can be healed of that, we are at peace. When we let go of that conflict, we are at peace. Go in peace. And then finally, one of my favorites is, peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. I do not give to you as the world gives. This is not an outside condition. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not let them be afraid. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not let them be afraid. Because we've cut out all that stuff, the fear, the conflict, so that we might have that peace. So what is peace? When we're praying for peace, what is it that we expect? Boom, you're all peaceful. It's not going to happen. It's really a process, it's an activity that we can participate in every day. Actually, this morning, Deepak Chopra just put out a piece on peace. And it's on our website under news articles if you want to read it. But it's not just an absence of conflict. Just because we stop shooting each other doesn't mean we're at peace. We really need to have that sense of justice. We need to have that sense of compassion one for another and of mutual respect. If there is an inequality, if there is a stratosphere of culture, we cannot have peace. This is really to be approached at all as something equal. Peace is a spiritual practice, and it's one that builds bridges instead of walls. Bridges instead of walls. That we listen instead of shouting at each other. That we heal instead of hurt each other. Isn't that really naturally what we want to do? I remember last year I saw that little hurt squirrel and drove 100 miles to get him to a shelter. It's our natural instinct to want to heal, not to hurt. Letting ourselves be our authentic self, if you will. And peace isn't passive. Peace is not just sitting there thinking peaceful thoughts. It's something that we choose every day. How we're going to see things, to see the higher good, to do the most positive, helpful thing that we can possibly do. To really invest our time, our energy, our words, our activities into a world where everybody can thrive. Not just survive, but we're talking about thriving, really growing to be all that they can be. Ernest Holmes, founder of Science of Mind, said, peace is the power at the heart of God. When we live from that center, we become living testaments to the truth that peace is possible. So with that, let us affirm together. I am centered in God's perfect peace. Peace fills my heart and calms my mind. I radiate harmony to all I meet. Peace flows through me, blessing the world. And as we've spoken these words, every thought is a prayer. We'll take this into meditation. Greg's going to lead us into When I Pray, which is right now.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right
invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you as we enter more confidently into that time of prayer, that time where we may go deeper and closer into the divine within. As we allow our attention to center ever inward, ever Godward, ever loveward, we take a notice of the scenery within ourselves as we move to that inner space. Like an elevator going down to the deep, deep core of the earth, our journey into the deep, deep core of ourselves may see scars from things that have passed through our lives. May see the nails of scratch marks as our hands dug to maintain things as they were, even when it was unpleasant. And we also see those sunrises and the buds beginning to bloom, the full scope of the human experience. And in this exercise, we understand that we are the observer, the experiencer, that those events are not us. Simply a moment on our personal journeys, that journey to a greater and deeper understanding, so that we might more fully express our authentic self. Allow the words that I speak now to be words of your own heart. As I move beyond the outer, move beyond those events and circumstances, I am centered in the presence of God, the source of all peace. As my mind succumbs to that truth, that I am centered in the source of all peace, my breathing becomes slightly deeper, easier, more life-giving, thriving. I feel the peace. Peace begins within me, and I radiate peace. And the world is blessed. That peace is a wave of vibrations radiating out from my center, unlimited, unhampered. It flows and courses through humanity and returns to bless me that I might send it out again. As I become part of this eternal flow of peace, I know that in every step I take, I have the choice to walk in peace. I know that in my daily activities, in my interaction with others, I can choose to live in peace. And I grasp that great truth that I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. And so it is. Amen. We're coming back here with a chant. Let's just sing it a couple times to own it as we begin to sing it to each other and then the world. Peace be to you.
Peace be to me. Peace be
To all, and the world be free.
Peace be to you.
Peace be to me.
Peace be
To
to
all, and the world be free. Sing it to someone next to you.
Peace
Be to you. Peace be to me. Peace be to all, and the world
be free.
bring someone to mind who needs your peace.
Peace
Be to you. Peace be to me. Peace be to all, and the world be free. Hold our world leaders in prayer.
be to you.
Peace be to me. Peace be to all,
And the world be free.
let's hold it within our community. Peace be to me. Peace be to all, and the world be free. Earworm for the rest of the day. Anyway, so spiritual practice for this week. Whenever you're feeling anxious, whenever you're feeling, that way, sing the peace chant, silently or loud. Peace be to you, peace be. If that's all you can remember, peace be to you, peace be to me. Every time you feel less than peace, just affirm that until you're back to the truth of who you are, for you are the peace. And with that, I get to invite Linda back up for some more beautiful music.
Hi again. Sorry. More roomy for you. The tavern. All day long I think about it, and at night I say it. Where did I come from? What am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea. My soul is from elsewhere. I'm sure of that. I intend to end up there. This drunkenness began in some other tavern. When I get back to that place, I'll be completely sober. Meanwhile, I'm like a bird from another continent, hanging out in this aviary. The day is coming when I'll fly off, but who is it now in my ear? Who hears my voice? Who says these words from my mouth? Who looks out from my eyes? What is the soul? I can't stop asking. I can't stop asking. What is the soul? If I could take me home. Whoever brought me here will have to take me home. Whoever brought me here will have to take me home. Take me home. Take me home. I wanna go home. Take me home. Take me home. Take me home.
Thank you, Linda. That was beautiful. Now is the time we create a sacred circle of generosity by acknowledging and sharing the blessings we have received. Giving is a matter of heart, not of wealth. If you are in person, you can place your love offering in the glass jar on the table. If you're using a credit card, or you can use the QR code on the screen to give your support through PayPal. Whether or not you are sharing of financial gifts this week, we invite you to affirm the sacred exchange by placing a hand over your heart or using an affirmation token from the bowl on your table. We bless our gifts as we share of our love and our treasure by affirming together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Our circle of generosity includes gratitude to every one of you who support Unity with their loving gifts. Our circle of generosity grows even larger as we share those gifts with others. As a tithing ministry, a portion of our tithes is shared with local charitable organizations that inspire and bless us. For the third quarter of this year, we are sharing with Ellie's Place and the Boys and Girls Club of Lansing. Both organizations serve our youth in ways that support them as they journey through life. Let us bless these organizations and affirm our blessings as we sing, I'm So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts received on your table. Let's affirm together, given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen. Today, following service is Unity 101, a class with Reverend Sharon that gives an overview of Unity Movement and Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. This is a perfect opportunity to learn more about Unity, and if you're not a member but are interested in becoming one, this is a requirement for membership. Everyone is welcome to attend. Join the group in the upper lodge. A pizza lunch will be available. This week is Super Suppers. Group gathers Wednesday night, every month, the last Wednesday of the month at a local restaurant. This Wednesday, September 24th, it's at Fiesta Chara on Lake Lansing Road. It is helpful to contact me, Maggie Bishop, or the church office if you're planning to attend to help us reserve enough seats. This coming Saturday, September 27th, Reverend Grace is offering a class on pour art. There are 2 spaces left. It's a lot of fun and it is very creative. I had a great time doing it. If you wish to register, sign up at the credenza or see Reverend Grace. This Saturday is also the last Saturday of the month, the monthly Mastermind Prayer Circle. This is a perfect opportunity to support one another in visioning your heart's desires. The meeting is on Zoom at 8 a.m. and it's open to everyone. The September edition of Unity Pulse is on the table. It covers events like Sunday morning group meditation and Zoom classes, as well as special events and workshops. You can also sign up for the weekly e-news to keep current on what's happening at Unity. We do have a space open if somebody would like to lead the meditation on Sunday morning, and that's on the credenza. Following this service, a prayer practitioner is available to pray with you one-on-one. Prayer practitioners will be gathered here by the lectern wearing purple stoles. And now we do the peace song.
It's time to go ahead and stand, if you're able, and join together in a circle of awareness and fellowship. Please remember to respect your neighbor's wishes when it comes to holding hands. And we'll join together in the peace song, followed by the prayer for protection. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is